All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Always our pleasure on Wednesdays to welcome on our next guest. It is our guy, Dr. Stephen Etheridge. What's going on, Doc? How we doing?
Doing great.
All right, so I'm going to start off with an injury I think we talked about last week, but it feels like it's just showing up more and more and more. Concussions in quarterbacks in the NFL. We talked about Jackson Dart, I believe it was last week. Now C.J. Stroud, Texans quarterback, he's going to be out versus the Bills on Thursday Night Football. And, like, the concussion protocol, like, is it kind of the same, like, almost everywhere? Like, is there, like, hey, this national board said this, and this is what we're going to follow? Because I feel like, and I don't know if you ever went through any concussions, like, but for me, I feel like maybe all of mine were a little bit different, like, at least from my experience.
Right.
So when you're dealing with concussions, is it kind of across the board, hey, here's what we're looking for?
It's pretty similar. There are some differences. The NFL, for example, has an independent neurologist. Not every league uses that.
Yeah.
There's certain subtle differences and just kind of the minutiae and the rules, but it's basically the same. You're gonna start with, obviously, official diagnosis, and then from there you move forward. And there's always going to be some kind of gradual return to play. It's never a, hey, I feel better, okay, go play football.
Yeah.
It's, okay, you're feeling better, let's have you get on the treadmill, let's have you get on a bike, let's start off kind of light and easy. Because a lot of times guys will feel good, and then their heart rate gets up. And even if we're not talking about any contact, they start getting headaches, they start having symptoms. So we want to slowly progress you back and make sure you're better. There's a lot of neurologic, neurocognitive tests, looking at your balance, looking at your reaction times, and a lot of different things we utilize. And like I said, there is differences, but it's basically the same from league to league.
So, Doc, when you look at concussion, so we all kind of know it as like a brain bruise, basically. Your brain hitting the side of your head. I know there's like cerebral spinal fluid. That's like your padding or whatever. But like everybody recovers a little bit differently, and it's understandable that there would be like different severities to concussions. But this might be a dumb question, but like, is there any proven treatments for type concussion besides just rest? I mean, I know like blood flow heals, and blood is like the healing factor in the body, and like you do things at other acute injuries around the body. It's like you want to increase blood flow to that area to help healing. Is there a way? Has there ever been anything that's helped the treatment of a concussion?
There's a lot of stuff out there that is being tried. There's a lot of sort of anecdotal data that maybe there's some little things that we can do here and there. There's certain things, and you're going to hear about all kinds of stuff. If somebody goes on the internet and you Google concussion treatments, you'll have a million things pop up because it's such a big topic.
Right.
And honestly, it's one we don't really have a great treatment for other than rest. It really is the main thing. You kind of got to let the body and specifically the brain get better. And the problem, y'all mentioned, well, I had a couple, they were different. I had this. It is the most probably frustrating diagnosis we have because there's no perfect test right now.
Right.
I can't show you on an X-ray there's your concussion, MRI, CT scan, whatever.
Where everything else you've seen it 1,000 times. And you're like, okay, this is that. Yeah.
And then once you have it,
of it
they're all different. And even the same individual, because you'll talk to your teammate, he was back in a week, and I'm a month in and I'm still having symptoms. It's a lot of variability. It's not always easy. It's very scrutinized. It's just one of those things that's a rough diagnosis all around.
So is it like a good assumption, like when we just generally know it as like a brain bruise, is that like really what it is? And then if so, does it matter like where on the brain, like what part of the brain hit?
I mean, it's a good way to look at it because that's kind of what it is. It's basically an injury to the brain. It's an injury to the brain that typically does not show up on imaging. There's some newer tests out there that we're trying to develop, functional MRIs and utilizing EEGs, but even those are going to be really expensive. You're not going to be able to get them quick, and it's going to be a while before we have a good test. So it's kind of a bruise that you can't see. It's kind of inflammation. We know that much. That the location of the brain does affect definitely the symptoms because, we know different parts of the brain control different things. So, sometimes it's going to be more headache. Sometimes it's going to be more memory, emotional. I've had guys that, I'll never forget. I had a young kid, a high school kid, just bawling on the sideline, just waterfall tears.
Yeah.
Could not explain to me why. He's like, I don't know why I'm crying. He had a concussion.
Yeah,
But he's like, I'm not that upset. I'm not whatever. Just could not stop it. And it's interesting. The brain's such a crazy thing. Yeah.
I have never even really thought about like the concussion being an injury to the brain. Well, you understand that, but like different locations of the brain would magnify a different response to it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, look, when you have one,
you've had plenty.
Yeah,
So you would know.
When you have one, it's quite the experience. And then like when people tell you like, no, you were doing this, it's like, no, I wasn't doing that. Like, no, you were.
Yeah, you were. Buddy.
You actually were doing this. And so I just feel like we're seeing more of those in quarterbacks.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
like,
Dylan Gabriel.
I don't feel like we now maybe to Doc's point. I mean, now you get buzzed down, and they've got a neurologist up there in the NFL. Maybe we did see him, we just didn't know it. But like when I was playing, like I don't remember quarterbacks getting concussions.
Right.
But there wasn't a ton, and now the rules are supposed to protect them more than ever. And this is where you're seeing it.
Because there's so many rules. Like
I guess quarterbacks are running
like
more too.
In the NFL, you got so many rules protecting the quarterback. Like roughing the passer is a joke now. But like, so most of the injuries are from the ground. Well, quarterback's been hitting the ground in football for 100 years. And apparently the helmet technology has improved. So like, there had to have been just tens of thousands undiagnosed before this all happened, because helmets are better. You're not like getting concussions most of the time, at least as a quarterback, from getting hit by another person. It's usually the ground that causes it. But my God.
Yeah, I think diagnostics is a big part of it. I think back to when I played in high school through college. I can only remember one guy getting diagnosed with concussion. This is a guy who could not walk outside in the daylight because it was that bad.
Yeah.
And there may have been a couple others, that I just don't recall, but I don't remember. Definitely weren't many. In high school I remember none. It's one of those things where, I think we obviously are way more aware of it now, and that's probably a bigger part. And then, to the point, style of play. We talked about that a little bit with Dart. He's, his style. Those guys you're going to see it a little bit more.
You dive head first at a defender.
Yeah.
Oh, Doc. Okay, well, let's turn our focus to a different part of the body. We saw Michael Penix this past week get injured, taken off the field, and the diagnosis has come with a season-ending injury to his knee. That would make, I believe, 5 of the last 8 seasons of him playing football, whether college or pros, that he has had an injury that made him miss the rest of the season. I think most of them have been, I think it was a shoulder, but I think most of them have been knee injuries. So I kind of want to talk to you about reoccurring ACL injuries, reoccurring ligament injuries that you see that it needs reconstruction. You need different techniques. And I know in reconstructive surgery, it's like you're using different parts of the body or cadavers or different things to fix. But what happens when you re-injure the same thing after it's been reconstructed? What is that surgery like? What's that recovery process? How does it differ from like the first time you get injured?
Well, a lot depends on how long is in between it, how bad was each injury. So across the board, it's kind of hard to say. But yes, if you keep injuring the same thing, the same knee, for example, it is going to become more difficult. You're going to have more, because for one, part of how we fix these is we use graft from other part of the knee, typically the hamstring, the patellar tendon, the quad tendon. Well, we can't keep going back to the same source. So for one, you're going to have to change where it's coming from. So you're going to have more scar tissue in different areas. So not just the ACL, but if we take a patellar tendon one time, hamstring, that's 2 different parts of the body that might have a little bit of scarring. And typically people do okay with that. But again, the more you accumulate that. And then the other thing you really worry about with a lot of these knee injuries is sometimes you get some cartilage damage, maybe not even something that's obvious right out of the gate, but if as the bone kind of hits together, because that's what happens with an ACL, is the 2 bones kind of hit together. And if you get some bone contusions, you get a little cartilage injury, then you get the same thing happening again and again. That's a knee that's going to have more problems. You're going to have, these are the guys that you're going to see swelling in the knee down the road. You're going to see a lot of these issues. And then you run the risk of failure. I think this time with Penix, it was actually the other knee, if I'm not mistaken. So he hadn't injured this one. And I think we talked about that a few weeks back, that some of there's a lot of reasons why guys injure their ACLs, and some of it's just the way we're made. We're all made a little different. There's differences in the knee. And then you consider after an injury, you're going to favor things. You're going to rely more on that other leg. So maybe you're putting more stress on it. So there's a lot of variables that go into this. We do know that if you tear one knee, your likelihood of tearing the other ACL is increased anywhere from 5 to 10-fold over the average population. So,
All right. So, why is that? Just because of the favoring of the one that you did already?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. So you're favoring it. So if I injure my right knee, I'm just naturally going to put more pressure on that left. Plus, you have some time when you're down. So even though you're trying to stay in shape, that left knee might get a little weaker too. And then there are some of the genetic predispositions that people sometimes have. So it's a little bit of all of the above.
So when you repair an ACL, you said you use graphing from other parts of the knee or that same ligament. When you repair it, is it ever, I'm sure at Brock it is, but like other places, is it ever back to 100%, or is it like 90% of strength when it's fully healed with a repaired ACL?
It can get back to full strength. In fact, sometimes your likelihood of re-tearing is less because you have a better ACL sometimes, especially if you were one of these individuals. Maybe some people, you'll see some people are more loose to begin with. Some people maybe had a thinner ligament to begin with. So we might get you a little bit more robust, and they've actually shown that you're actually, if you have a good surgery, you're probably more likely to tear the other one because of all those other things we just talked about than re-tearing, as long as you take the appropriate time to heal. That's the other thing. Give it time to heal. If you try to go back too early, that data is kind of skewed.
Kind of like if you get enough like screws and plates put on you, you're like unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
That's exactly right. What?
Something we should all flower to.
Sure. Gosh, who was it that? Oh, it was Lane Johnson for the Eagles tackle. I saw that he's like, yeah, he's got a Liz Frank injury, and it's like, yeah, but he's not considered out for the year just yet. I'm like, hold up, like anybody that I've ever known has got Liz Frank, and I've gone through that as well. Like, it's not a quick and easy process. Like, is there different variations of Liz Frank?
Yeah, there are. So if you have a mild, more of a sprain, so if you just sprain the joint, it can heal. But sometimes if you have a tear or a fracture associated with that joint, which is kind of a midfoot sprain, we anytime we hear midfoot sprain, we're a little bit nervous. That's the first. It's not always a Liz Frank, but that's the one you worry about because that's one that's going to be more commonly unstable, or at the very least, they're going to be booted, probably out for at least several weeks. But if it is more on that milder variety, yeah, it might be someone who can boot up, and if they respond pretty quickly, they may get back a little bit more rapidly.
Yeah, I never. Usually it's like, get Liz Frank, like, buddy, go ahead and sit down.
Who is Liz Frank?
It's not like it's not like a
not a person.
No, it's not like a name.
It's a surgeon who first diagnosed, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was French, and during the Napoleonic Wars. I might be wrong on that, so somebody might want to fact check me. Okay. But I believe that was actually what it was.
You said that with your chest out, so
I think that was what it was. Go back and double check me, but I know it was named after the guy who first diagnosed it.
I know it's not fun.
So I was right. It was the name of somebody.
I don't know. I mean, I think Doc's just trying to back you up here.
Okay, there you go. It goes back to Napoleon.
He's just trying.
But he always sounds smart if you say Napoleonic. I mean,
it does. It does actually sound pretty smart there. Only a couple games left. Hard to believe. But I know you got some high school playoff work you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, we'll be busy too. It's a busy couple weeks, but yeah, it's crazy. We're almost there, and
hopefully not too busy.
I hope not too busy.
Yeah,
hopefully not. Hopefully we'll just be a good spectator. I'm always happier that way.
I know, right?
All right, Doc, we appreciate it.
No problem.
Dr. Stephen Etheridge, good enough to join us every single week here on the show. We'll step away. More OTB coming back your way when we jump back live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to RussellPools.com, the website for Russell Pool Company. Check out the gallery of work they have right there on the homepage. A full list of services. Remember, they are there from the very beginning till the end, everywhere in between and afterwards as well. They are truly the one-stop shop pool company. Check out the financing options on the homepage as well. Go to RussellPools.com. Find your dream pool, build your dream pool, and it's always going to happen with Russell Pools and RussellPools.com.
That's right. Russell Pools, the name you think of when you think of the highest quality custom pools, or maybe you just want a pool that's not necessarily custom. You just go to their website at russellpools.com, check out the gallery, you're like, hey, I like that pool. That pool looks sweet. So if you want some water features, you want an infinity edge, you want a heated pool, can I get a hot tub? Somebody, can I get a hot tub? Whatever it is, make sure you give them a call. They got 2 landscape architects right there. They make the job seamless. They make it easy. They make it painless. They give you all the options, and they can do the job amazingly. Go to russellpools.com.
Yeah. I'm not wilding out like I used to. Oh, no. I don't do the things I used to. No more. I changed for you.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Everything I say, I mean, and all the love you
All right, welcome back in OTB. Guess what, Matt?
Hey, what's up?
Downtown Baton Rouge getting a major upgrade. The brand new Bally's Casino and Hotel about to open up, transforming the capital city into a true destination for gaming, dining, and entertainment. Enjoy over 25,000 square feet of Vegas-style action. The Dining Depot with 5 incredible restaurants, as we got a chance to tour a couple of weeks ago, plus the incredible, and I promise you, I don't use that word lightly, DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be the size of the TV alone. Just wait until you see it. You can bowl at Pelican Pins. You've got live energy at the bars in Embers Casino and Bar. I mean, so many different things that they've got. Stay in style as well, as we saw. They got the newly renovated 10-story Bally's Hotel with luxury suites and a VIP lounge overlooking the city. Follow at Bally's Baton Rouge on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates. And trust me, you'll be blown away. If you remember what it used to look like with the atrium, you're going to walk in, you're going to say, there's no way this is the same place. Yep. And, well, it's the same location, but let me just tell you, it's a little bit different.
Baton Rouge, you get an upgrade, buddy.
You are. You are getting Beyonce.
And I know that they are uber prepared at every single level of that construction process, because when we walked in there, they even had a hard hat big enough for Jake's head.
And yours as well.
That's true. Good point. No big deal. Just a couple of hard hat wearers over here.
We're like,
do things fall from the ceiling often?
We're like, are these regulation size? Because they better be. Plus size. All right. So earlier we talked about Kenny Dillingham. Wait, what are you doing over there?
Okay, listen up. Just got an update from Doc. The term Lisfranc originates from Jacques Lisfranc de Saint-Martin, a French surgeon in the Napoleon's army.
There you go.
Who in the early 1800s described an amputation through this midfoot joint due to a soldier's foot injury. So Lisfranc's from Jacques Lisfranc de Saint-Martin. So Doc is right. And technically I was right, basically.
No, you were. I thought you were just being yourself.
I'm always myself, bud.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's why I mispronounce words. That's why I say dumb things sometimes. That's
true.
why I report fake news sometimes, because I don't fact check it.
Oh, the Drew Brees.
I've done it multiple times. Drew Brees is just the most recent one.
I don't remember.
Well, ChatGPT told me much wrong information sometimes.
You do trust that a lot.
Sorry, I'm not supposed to mention ChatGPT.
Why?
I don't know.
Who said you're not supposed to mention it?
I don't know. Someone told me that. Make all your ideas seem like they were yours.
No. Anybody knows you knows that you lean on it.
Oh, yeah. Lean hard on it.
Coming up in about 10 minutes from now, very excited about this. The return of Coach Kim Mulkey on OTB. Set that up yesterday. Going to get back to our weeklies with Coach Mulkey every Wednesday. That's the plan. You know, there might be some weeks where it has to be a Tuesday or a Thursday, but every Wednesday we are going to have Coach Mulkey. They are 5-0 on the season. They've scored 100 points in every single game that they've played.
Is that good?
This year? It's pretty decent.
Triple digits.
They beat Tulane on the road 101-71 the other night. They've got a couple of games before they've got a big non-conference matchup against the Duke Blue Devils. So it's going to be a lot of fun to continue to watch this team. Certainly look like one of the best teams, not only in the SEC, in the country. They sit at number 5 in the country. Also, the men's team got a dub last night, so keep their record perfect as well. You know, after
undefeated?
That's what that means. After a disappointing football season, we know that the women's team's going to be great. We know they're going to make a deep, deep NCAA tournament run. It would be so refreshing to see the men's team go on a little bit of a run here. And look, I'm realistic. I'm not saying they're going to go out and win a championship. But, man, if they could just finish right in the middle of the Southeastern Conference and maybe, just maybe,
well, let me ask you this.
A tournament.
So I'm going to ask you questions on this. Me, surprisingly enough, not a basketball guy. I will be by Christmas. We'll be locked in. But for the LSU men's basketball team, like, what is I don't even want to know what like a realistic ceiling. I want to know what a ceiling is, an absolute ceiling, like a pipe dream ceiling. Then what's a realistic, really good season for them?
I mean, I think the ceiling would probably, like, you can't, like, as much as we'd want to be like, Homer, purple and gold glasses, pumping sunshine, the whole deal. I mean, you had a conference that everyone made the NCAA tournament but 2 teams, and you were one of the 2 teams. So to say that the ceiling would be higher than finishing in the middle of the SEC, I think would be crazy.
I think if you got to a 500 conference record, that would be excellent.
I think so.
I think that's your goal.
14 of 16 teams?
14 of 16 made the NCAA tournament. You and South Carolina,
I just learned something
only
today.
ones that did not make it. So for the games you have coming up, I think you have Omaha, Nebraska. You have Drake, I believe. Then you got on the road against Boston College, and then you've got a test against number 15 Texas Tech. So that will kind of give you an idea as you head into conference play. I'm trying to think. I know it's a challenge game, but I'm trying to think where. I think it's in Fort Worth, if I'm not mistaken, the Texas Tech game. So we'll find out about them when they play Texas Tech.
Do you like to go to the games?
Oh, yeah.
You dabble?
Hey, kids love to go to the LSU men's and women's basketball games. They like that it's inside. They like the concessions.
Yeah,
They kinda
it's
like the
constant entertainment too. Like I think last week I said I didn't watch a dribble last year till the tournament. I actually lied on that. I forgot we actually took the fam to a game. All 5 of us last year. I think we went to watch Auburn maybe. And it's constant entertainment. There's always something happening. Always something falling from the sky. Always somebody doing something on the court. Some sort of competition or dance. It's exciting.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got on the basketball takes right this second. It's exciting. Thanks for
Taylor,
all from this guy. Hot dogs,
I
I
mean,
think?
you worked the game last night, didn't you?
So I did not work the game last
Wait,
night.
which
but
game did you work?
I worked the women's game Monday night.
Oh, that's
but
what it was.
I
Okay.
followed it well. Look, Alcorn State came out blazing hot from 3. They cooled it down, but the thing I like about this game, everyone's going to complain, oh, you gave up 81 points to Alcorn State. I get that. But you found a different way to win a basketball game, which I always think makes you a better team. So far this year, you've had DJ Thomas dish it out to the shooters, and they've done a really good job from 3. You shot 28% from 3 last night. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But what did you do? You were dominant in the paint, 58 to 28 point differential in the paint. Mike Nwoko is the best player on this basketball team, 29 points, 9 rebounds. Markel Sutton still hit his shots. I mean, DJ Thomas still had 16 and 6 when the rest of the guys had an off shooting night. You found a different way to win this game, and I appreciate that because you're not always going to just stand there and knock down 3-pointers. Sometimes the shots aren't going to fall for you. You found a way to win. However, you play like that in SEC play, you're going to get beat. So fix it, but nice job of finding a different way to win.
All right, so watching this team, and you and I have talked about this for the last couple of years, Tay. It's like, okay, you got some good stuff in the non-con. And even last year, like, you had some wins against some Power 4 teams, right? Some teams that you felt really good about, and then it just did not happen, obviously, in conference play. Like, when you watch this team compared to when you watch last year's team so far to this point, do you think it is a better made-up roster and team so far?
Yeah, because you go back to look at Matt McMahon's time at Murray State. The times he was the most successful, I get it, John Morant, take him out of it. When he had a dominant, pure point guard, his teams were good. I think you have that. I think DJ Thomas is a pure point guard. I don't really think he's had that this year. Like Cam Carter was a great guard last year. He was a 2. He wasn't a 1. Thomas does a good job of facilitating. So far, you've been a good shooting team, but you have a dominant guy down low as well. If you have a good point guard and you have a guy down low that can dominate in the paint, I think you could win because your shooters, Max McKinnon's done a great job. Markel Sutton's been really good. Rashad King's been good. Ron Zipper's barely played because he's been hurt. He's a guy that can shoot from the outside. You have shooters, you have a dominant guard, and you have a really good post player. You could compete against anybody you go against.
All right, we're going to see. Like, we're certainly going to see. I do agree with you. It does feel like it's a little bit better. The roster feels better. It feels like it's got some pieces that you can put together and trying to make that run in conference play, because in non-con last year, I know I got fooled a little bit there. We'll see if they can put it together. A team that we know has it together and we know is going to make the NCAA tournament and going to make a run, the LSU women's basketball team. And we catch up with their head coach, Kim Mulkey, when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting, everything is available to you. So go to the dealership, check out the lot, and whatever you see there, it's available in all three processes. Not going to find that anywhere else. Also, the rental department. It's not something you see every day either, and you certainly don't see the per-day rental prices. You don't see multiple midsize SUVs, multiple trucks, van, multiple sedans, full-size SUV in the Sequoia. So they got something for everybody in that rental department as well. Get ready for the holidays with that rental. Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
What's the channel like to do? All-Star. 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 Not All-Star anymore. It's All-Star, bud. I learned how to speak. If you're in the market for a car, it's that time of life where you got to upgrade. Maybe you got a new child that just turned 16. You got to buy. Maybe it's a gift, maybe for the holidays for the wife. I don't know. If it's a new car, used car, long-term lease, per-day rental, whatever it is, make sure you give them a call or go visit them right there on their line. Check them out, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
How she feel? You know what she told me? She told. Check it out. This is what she said. She said, oh. She said she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Anita, but definitely set this party on.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raise the Cane studio. Very, very excited for this next conversation. Over the last couple of years, we've been lucky enough to have Coach Kim Mulkey join us every single week during the basketball season. Excited to get this conversation going. Coach, we appreciate your time so much. Thanks for hopping on with us. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me? I'm out walking, and it's kind of an echo. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Coach, we'll do this. We'll call – call us on the number that we called you on, and I think the echo will go away.
So you're going to call me back?
No, Coach, I think if you call us, I think the echo goes away. So whatever number we called you from, I think if you call us back, I think the echo goes away.
All right, I'll call you right back.
All right, Coach. I don't know why. All of these fancy buttons and cameras and different things, because I've been a guest on, shows on this station before, or called in when I've been out of town. Sometimes you get the echo.
Yeah. Bro, you just told a legend, a Hall of Famer, to call you back.
Please.
You didn't say please.
I did that. I just did. Do. That's all right.
This will be the first time I've ever talked with her.
Yeah, I told her you were sloppy. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yesterday when I was getting everything set up.
It's obvious.
Yeah, no question about it. Coach Mulkey, we got you?
You've got me.
There we go. It's a little bit better, so we'll see how it goes. How are you? How you been? Off to a great start so far in the season. We miss having you on the show. We kicked T-Bob out. He's now in Chicago freezing in the snow, but we got Matt Flynn here with us, so we're glad to have you back on.
Can you hear me, guys?
Oh, we got you. Do you have us?
I think I heard you, so if I'm not coming across clearly, I apologize. Matt, welcome to the show, man. I know y'all been doing this during football season, but I watched you fling the ball a little bit in your day as well.
That's right, Coach. It's an honor to talk to you. You are an absolute legend, and look, I've known and followed your career for a long time. I grew up in Texas. My whole family was a Baylor fan, a big Coach Kim Mulkey fan. So I've been following you a long time. So it's a pleasure and an honor to talk to you.
Well, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Why do I have Tyler, Texas in my brain when it comes to you?
You nailed it. Tyler, Texas. My whole family went there. My dad played quarterback there in the 60s. Oh, yeah. I don't know how you know that, but that's amazing.
I keep up with sports. Not all sports, but the main three that those of us from the South played: basketball, baseball, and football. So I know a thing or two about athletes. Hester, he thinks he's from South Louisiana. That boy grew up in North Louisiana.
Call that deep East Texas.
Hey, I'd rather that than Southern Arkansas. But you're right, 318, 3-1, great, no question about it, Coach. So
And y'all's boy, the old center, the old lineman, I bet he's freezing his rear end off about now in the big Chicago. You know, the thing about Chicago, which is a great sports town, by the way, but the thing about Chicago, when you're ready to go fishing, all you can do is ice fish. You know,
Yeah.
at least down here we can bass fish, but he's got to go chop a hole in the water and figure out how to do all that stuff.
Coach, you know, like that first true like winter morning, because he's lived in Atlanta, he's lived in South Louisiana his whole life, and Matt played in Green Bay, I played in Denver. You've obviously been across the country watching different things, coaching, so you've experienced it. You know that hit him like a ton of bricks that first morning he woke up, and it was like real snow, not just some ice here in South Louisiana.
I bet he had to go spend some money and buy his whole family jacket.
Real jackets, too.
You got it. Well, when you guys talk to him, tell him hello.
Absolutely, absolutely, we will, Coach. And so, again, so excited to have you back on the show. And obviously, like every year, it's going to be a new team. You're going to have new players. Now you got some returning players, some very good returning players. But, with today's college basketball, you're going to have some new on every roster. And so every year, though, I always give you so much credit because it feels like whichever team you're coaching, they kind of take that personality of their head coach, right? And we know you, Coach, tough and confident and disciplined. How do you go about building that every single year when you get new faces, kind of, okay, here's what it is, here's how we're going to go about our business, and how do you kind of lay that out for the new players that you have?
Well, I think it starts in recruiting. It starts with you sitting down with those young athletes that you're recruiting into your program. Most of the time they know the style of play. They know my personality. They don't know me because they have all the social media lies they have to, wade through, and they have all those things. But I think they enjoy what we tell them. You're going to be you. I want personalities on that floor. It's a game of entertainment. But once you just kind of wade through that, there's two things. If you will defend and you will rebound, we're going to have success.
Yeah.
Right now we're scoring a lot of points. Guys, listen, I use all this non-conference as basically preseason, as you guys would say, training camp in football. Yeah. I don't have our kids come in the summer. I don't require them to show up and we go and we grind in the summer. I like my summers off. They like to go play different USA basketball teams and go on vacations. So I look at these months as I'm still evaluating. I'm still trying to figure out who needs to play with who. So as we play these teams and we're scoring a lot of points, I'm not looking at that. I'm actually looking at, we're pretty sorry the second half at Tulane. We allowed straight line drives. We did all those things poorly, and I've got to make them better. Rebounding, we got out-rebounded, and we won by 30. That's not cool. So those are the things that they've got to do if they want to play for me, and we'll get better. Did I think this team, when I signed those kids and the returning players came back, did I think this is what I would get? Not necessarily early. I had no idea that we'd be able to shoot the three ball like we do. Well, let it fly. And so that's why we're scoring a lot of points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, I think scored triple digits in all of the games this year. So I think I was looking at those numbers. I'm like, man, you have to be some sort of Hall of Fame coach to try to find motivation in that, because like in the football, you go watch film, you learn from mistakes, right? You learn, and you just pointed out a couple of mistakes, a couple of sloppiness that you saw from the team. But when you're scoring at that clip, it's probably, there's a mentality involved when you're talking to young women at the age they are. When you win, and when you win by a lot and you're scoring like you are, you have to have a coach that can really kind of humble them and take them back down. So is it difficult finding the coachable moments in games like that?
The difficult part is to keep them focused. The difficult part is to keep them from looking at that scoreboard and get sloppy. So what you do in the course of the game in a timeout, I may look at one individual player and say, that kid scored on you twice now. Don't let her score again the rest of the half or the rest of the game. Just give them little goals during the course of that game. I like this team. When a coach can say, I like my team, and win and go to work every day looking at them, man, that makes for just a great locker room. And I really do. This team is a joy to coach. I don't have to deal with outside drama away from the court, which every coach in America has to deal with every year. And they pull for each other. I mean, they pull for each other. We got 5 or 6 kids averaging in double figures, and they're happy for each other.
Yeah, Coach, and that was actually going to be my next question because you have so many players that are scoring the basketball. And last year we talked a lot about rotation and how many players you were going to keep in your rotation. So when you're playing these games and you're having a lot of success, like, is it kind of hard? Like, what are those conversations like maybe with your assistants? Because as you get closer and closer to league play, I know y'all are having those conversations. So, like, when you're trying to figure out maybe how many players are going to be a part of a true rotation, like, how often are y'all having those conversations?
Well, I'll give you an example. In the film room yesterday, that's all we did. We went in the film room and we watched Tulane. We didn't even prepare for Alcorn. I'm not worrying about Alcorn. I'm worrying about LSU.
Right.
And then we went on the floor and we ran 13 down and back under 12 seconds because not 13, 12, excuse me, because we missed 12 free throws.
Yeah.
And then we did a little free throw competition for a little while. As I sat with them in that locker room and film room, I reminded them, I don't have a set starting 5. You may see a different group out there every game because I'm so blessed that I have that much talent, and you better produce while you're out there or somebody else is going to get an opportunity. And that's not a threat, and I know players don't like looking over their shoulder. But when it's this new into the season and you've got that kind of competition on the floor every day in practice, hey, next man up.
Yeah, Coach. So I wanted to give you kind of the chance here. You know, this show in the morning, I mean, it's middle of football season. We've been so hot and heavy with football and talking coaches and talking everything crazy. We are.
There's been a couple things going on in the football program.
Yeah, a couple things going on in the football program. So,
I can't imagine. There's something going on in football.
I know, it's wild. It's wild. So, but it's the first time we've had the privilege of having you on the show since the season started for you all. So it's a new year, new look, new faces. I wanted to kind of give you a chance, like, to introduce the listeners, like, kind of during this time of the day, like, to the team. You have Malaysia Fulwiley, Kate Koval, 6'5" in the post. Like, you got some new players, you got some returning players. You kind of introduced, like, this new team, 2025, 2026.
Well, obviously we can score the ball, and I would tell people who will watch from afar, even if you don't come to the games. Well, shame on you if you don't come to the games.
Right.
Because you're going to miss out on seeing some tremendous female athletes that just know how to play at an elite level. You're going to see happiness. You're going to see kids who have smiles on their faces. They enjoy playing. I mean, there are a lot of athletes that play these sports because they're just good at it, and that's all they've ever known, and that's all they've ever done. It's like they enjoy going out there and getting a steal or making a big bucket. And I think that I had no idea that we would be this cohesive. But it sure is fun, especially when you get to the latter part of your career as a coach. What runs coaches out nowadays? Look at Saban. He got out in NIL. Tired of that. The coaches will get out because the kids, how many times have you heard it? They're just different now. I get to stay in it because I've been able, through the generations of kids I've coached, adapt. You don't have to change who you are as a coach, but you have to adapt in ways you motivate young people. And they make me adapt because it is fun to go to practice.
Coach Matt, you kind of joked there, but we all know there has been a lot going on in the athletic department. Certainly, like for you, like when you're starting your season, and so there's so much going on. There's a lot of change. You get a new president, you get a new AD. You're looking for a new football coach. Like, is that something that you even right now, can even worry about because you're so like ingrained like in the season and trying to get ready for your team's run right now?
Hester, let me tell you a story, and this put it kind of in perspective for me. My son, y'all know Kramer.
Yep.
He said, "Mom, have you ever just stepped back to realize the amount of turmoil that you have had to clean up without really realizing it?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So he took me back to my days at Baylor. He said, "Do you remember you won your first championship in 2005? And your theme was be the shining light. The previous year, you had the murder in men's basketball, and you had all the cameras there and all the national trucks there every day. And he said, you just went about your business, and you helped erase some of that by just being a positive by winning it. He goes, let's go to the Art Briles stuff again at Baylor. You then won a national championship to help erase some of that and put Baylor back into a positive light. He goes, it wouldn't surprise me if you did it this year at LSU.
Yeah.
And I just laughed, and I said, you know, buddy, I just work. And he says, but the timing of things that you have helped indirectly without realizing it, because you know how to compartmentalize, Mom, and focus on your team. And so I've been thinking about that ever since he brought it up. This is not new to me.
Right.
This is something that I have dealt with at Baylor numerous times. I hate it because Scott hired me. I don't still to this day understand all the political stuff going on behind the scenes because I don't have a political bone in my body. I love everybody. I love all cultures. I love both parties. But I just focus on my job, and my job is to put LSU in a good light and to win basketball games and championships.
Well, that's great perspective, Coach.
Yep.
And I think, and it's great to kind of look back on that, and Kramer for pointing that out, because I think you get to that point because you're always yourself and genuine and focused on the people around you and making them better. And that's why you're a legend, Coach. So we appreciate that answer. We appreciate you. And that's fantastic perspective.
Well, you guys make my morning. I'm out walking, doing my usual walk. Took my grape juice this morning and going to just walk the neighborhood and think about what we need to do and practice today to get better and bring you kids. Matt, you married with children? I know Hester is.
That's right. I got 3. Happily married with 3 kids, 10, 8, 5, doing the whole thing.
Love it. Bring them to a ball game.
Oh,
You
we
come
would
to
love
SEC
to.
game. Hey, Valentine's Day is the best time to come. You better get a ticket now. That's when we play South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. That is very true. Coach, you know we're going to bring our entire crew to most games. They love coming. I mean, basketball games are their favorite thing to do, at LSU. So we'll be there. We'll be in the number. I mean, my family, my kids, we take up half the stadium, half the arena just by bringing the Hester kids. So we look forward to it, Coach, just like we look forward to talking to you every single week here during the basketball season. Can't thank you enough.
Hey, guys, you're welcome, and love on those kids because they grow up fast.
Absolutely. They sure do. They already have. There she is. Coach Kim Mulkey, good enough to join us. Going to get that started every single Wednesday here during the basketball season, something we've done for a couple of years and always look forward to. All right, we will take a break. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
I can't wait till I get you on the floor, good looking. Hey, going hot, so hot, just like an oven. And
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
it's all mine. Hey, baby, we don't mind all the watching. Cause if they study close, real close, they might learn something. She ain't nothing but
All right, welcome back in. OTB here. Oh, man, fired up to have Coach Mulkey
She's the best, man.
every single week.
I used to love, obviously last year, last couple of years she's been on your show. I used to love that segment of y'all talking to her because she's awesome.
Yeah,
she has such great perspective on
every
everything.
sport.
And she'll answer any question,
any
so
question.
genuinely. And that's how it's amazing.
I do love that. She
Great.
will, you ask her, she's going to answer.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to say, well, I'd rather not. There's no rather not with
going
Coach
to
Mulkey.
tiptoe through the tulips on it.
Yeah. So
It's fantastic.
excited to get the family out there, go check them out. They've got a couple of really cool games coming up as well, not just, inside of the PMAC. I mean, they've got a game against Louisiana Tech that's going to be in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans on December the 13th. Obviously, Coach Mulkey played for the Lady Techsters, and so that program means a lot to her. So it's going to be very cool to go, check that out there at the Smoothie King Center. She mentioned, hey, in February, Valentine's Day, she's like, don't wait.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina game, they're coming to town. So
Hey,
some good matchups.
We're also all thinking it. Coach, You ever thought about dabbling in coaching football? Come on. We got a search happening right now.
Hey, look, get Jay Johnson, Kim Mulkey together. They can be co-head coaches. Go ahead.
Why not? Let's go.
Just go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Man, I look forward to that every single week. All right, so 9, we're going to have Would You Rather Wednesday. And I'm just letting you know, I'm going to have a theme to my Would You Rather.
Today?
Today. We're going to do that when we come back, and I'm going to have a theme to mine. So everybody needs to get
I always
their
forget about this segment.
Everybody needs to get it's like literally built in, and it like has the name of the day of the week in the segment.
Yeah, our shows are just so jam-packed these days. So much excitement.
Because we had 2 guests?
Yeah.
That is a lot for you.
Fact.
That is very true. That is very true. Matthew's not he loves our guests, but he's not, the one that wants like
We're getting more comfortable with them.
We're
we're a team.
you
bud.
got a mouse in your pocket? I guess for a
Wow,
long
I didn't
time.
know you're such an individual.
Well, no, I'm saying like I've
Wow.
had guests for a while.
Ooh.
It's okay. All right, so coming up in hour number 3, a little Would You Rather Wednesday right here on OTB Live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Off the bench.
All right, very excited for this. As you know,
right.
I am Team Marucci through and through. Been there for a long time. And baseball and softball players, if you haven't been to Marucci's Hitter House there in Baton Rouge, well, you're missing out. This place is full-on superstore with everything from Marucci, Victus, lizard skins, the stable. They got everything going on, plus golf grips and athletic wear too. So you can try all the hottest new bats from Marucci, from Victus, take them right into the cages and feel the difference. They've even got Marucci cleats and trainers. So you're ready to go. You're going to feel like a pro when you step in there. So don't forget also, they've got their warehouse sale. That's happening November 28th through December the 14th right there. 5817 McCann Drive. Huge discounts, daily hours, and gift card bonuses when you spend $250 or $500. Plus, if you take the Marucci campus tour, you get 20% off Hitter's House that same day.
Let's go.
More info at maruccisports.com/campus-tour.